All right, we are live, and the New York Mets are about to embark on yet another season. Another opening day gala has arrived, and boys, what a difference a year makes.
You know what? What a difference a year makes, but also same feeling as always. I'm Jesse Spano with the caffeine pills. I'm so excited. I'm so scared. It's always that, there's years where we're up, there's years where we're down, but there's always potential for the roller coaster and the heartache. And this time I'm just more excited for it rather than more terrified of it.
Yep, there's a little less fear in the air, even though we're all waiting for the hammer to drop because we are Mets fans. But with all the great news and all the great stuff, along with all the bad stuff for the past, there's one franchise that has been along with us the entire time. It is our friends at Coors Light. We got to believe it's presented by Coors Light. When you're juggling work, family, and life in general, it's easy to feel the pressure, but that doesn't mean we have to lose our chill. God knows we need it as Mets fans. Besides, you never know when life's inconvenience can turn into a great story to tell later with a Coors Light in your hand when the mountains turn blue. Oh, I love saying that again. It just feels so right. It's as cold as the Rockies Coors Light is. What is it, boys? Cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. And what do I like drinking Coors Lights in? I like watching playoff baseball and playoff wins because that's a thing now that Uncle Stevie's in charge. So that's what I like to drink my Coors Light while watching. So Mets fans, choose chill this season and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/believe, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And boys, another opening day gala has arrived. And there is optimism in the air, a special spring feeling, even though we have, like we've said a million times, the Mets would win opening day. They always win, even though they break your heart the rest of the season. But this year just feels different. And I'm going to turn the floor over to the man who started this podcast during the dark days as we waged war with the Wilpons Empire. I think Jacob deGrom had a serious injury the day we announced the podcast.
His elbow was barking from strep throat.
And here we are, Kev. Here we are, my friend. Juan Soto is a Met. Juan Soto to all of you listening, all of you watching, and all of you on this show right now. Juan Soto to all, and to all a happy season.
A healthy Juan Soto to all my boys and to everyone out there. I'm happy you said in the Coors read. First of all, I'm gonna take this hat off now. We're putting to bed Grimace. We're putting to bed OMG. I will get a new hat for Father's Day. Hopefully this size. This is a 7 7/8. Hopefully my kids just take it up a notch and we go full size 8 because it's a new year. And while we take all the positives, we got to start fresh. And I don't want to latch on too much to the old stuff. We got to start fresh. And I'm happy in the Coors read you said that you got to juggle family and work and everything, because I don't know about you guys, but opening day feels like I got to call some people in my life and be like, things are going to be different. I've been watching a lot of television, a lot of TV, doing TV content. I got to watch the Mets now. I can't make it to this. I can't make it to that. The Mets are back. So it's almost like getting in a relationship. It's like we've been single, for a few months and now we're back in a relationship. Except this time around, instead of being in a wildly abusive one, we're in a happy one. This season, with great stakes comes, great, what is it? With great power comes great responsibility. When the stakes are higher, there's more potential for a letdown, right? And I think that's probably still in me. I don't know about you guys. You can give me Juan Soto. We could have gotten 3 more pitchers. We could have gotten, and I'd still be like, the boys on the fan were like, what's the ceiling and what's the floor? And they said the floor is 80, 85 wins. I'm like, for me, the floor is still 71 wins. Anything can happen with the Mets. But this time around, man, I just don't think people get what a difference Juan Soto will make, what a difference Lindor being accepted and happy will make, what a difference Vientos really getting his feet underneath him, what a difference Alvarez bouncing back even a little bit. Alvarez is so young, he still might take a little while to get to where he's really going to go. But there's as good as things were, there's still a lot of room for improvement, a lot of room for things to go better and be more consistent and have a full season of that. And it's just Juan Soto is symbolic of it, where I don't think I've ever had a guy. Clem, maybe we can think through this. Mets, Jets, Knicks. I don't think there's ever been a guy who is as good as Juan Soto, where like Lindor is great, and he showed his flair for the theatrics, the dramatic, where he will hit the home run in the big spot. But when Juan Soto's up, it's like he's gonna do it. He's gonna get the hit. He's gonna hit the home run. He's gonna get on base. Like it's like a guarantee. It's a lock. We've never had that guy where you're counting, you're doing the Ohtani. How many more batters till Ohtani? Where it's like if we can just get to Soto. We had a little bit of that with Lindor last year. Like if we can just get to Lindor, we're good. If you can get to Soto, like he will do it every time. And Brunson's been great. Ewing was great with the Knicks. Piazza, right, maybe a little bit, but like nobody. I've never rooted for somebody on this level, and I almost don't know how to do it. I've never been like able to be that cocky. The
ceiling is the roof, as they say.
The ceiling is the fucking roof. He's just and I think my favorite thing that happened through this whole offseason was letting this ridiculous notion that Juan Soto is overrated and overpaid become this thing. They're talking about his defense. They're talking about the contract. And I'm so happy it went that way because it's like Lindor. It's like people saying Lindor is bad. And I was like, he's one of the greatest shortstops of all time. This is the easiest argument I'm ever going to win. Well, throw this one in there. The people who actually think that Juan Soto is going to be like a bust, if anything, he's going to get better. He's going into his prime. He had an unlucky year by a lot of the metrics last season. Like, overpaid. He's underrated. He's underpaid. It's going to be an unbelievable ride, something that I've never experienced. Whether we win, lose, obviously baseball can go a million different ways, but just watching him alone is something I've never experienced as a fan, and I can't wait to do it.
I'll say it as the gray beard on the podcast. We've never not this guy. Like you said, Ewing, great. But like, listen, Ewing also came up like short, would make the guarantees, and then like blow the free throws or the finger roll or whatever it may be. Brunson is like a made man that built himself up and has been like the best Nick of my life, basically, other than Ewing. But even then, it's like Brunson's shortcomings are always broadcasted, and that's kind of the other thing. It's why we like protect him more. Eli with the Giants, right? It's like he had 2 runs, but he's still Eli, making you pull your hair out with stupid plays. Odell with the Giants was like a comet in the sky for a few years, but he had stupid shit as well. Juan Soto, and I think it was Phil who said this on the pod first, it's a statue player. Like, we have never just had a already made statue.
Yeah. This is every Mets fan's wet dream because he's 26 years old. So, like, we're having the conversation of, I hope Beatty can put it together. Like, he's been so good in spring. I hope Vientos doesn't have a sophomore slump. Those guys are 1 year younger than him. He has literally been in the league since he's 19 years old. And he is going to be the foundation of what comes next. Because you got Lindor batting leadoff, and then that man sitting behind him, he is going to feast. Maybe, I don't want to jinx it, but maybe Francisco doesn't get off to a slow start. But if he does, just calm down. It'll be fine.
Let's give him.
The greatest player on the market is now on the New York Mets.
And the best part is he didn't come here for the money. He looked at the Mets, he looked at the Yankees, and he said the Mets have the better future.
Hey,
not about the $800 million.
According to that random clip of that random Spanish podcast, we didn't even offer the most money. I don't know if anybody actually watched that podcast or found out what that was about. But yeah, no, we didn't offer the most money.
It's like the dodgeball clip where he's like, what if we pay him in Canadian?
Yeah. I swear to God, like, and listen, to the media people out there, I know you need your clicks, especially for newspapers, whatever. I don't need to hear the Juan Soto negotiation story again. It's done. I saw Sports Illustrated just had theirs, and it's like literally, it was like when we were on Twitter, and it was just the same regurgitated information every week. It's the same thing right now.
I will say though, wait, let me jump in there because there was that one thing that I did think was cool was when Steve Cohen was like, you don't like us, you don't want us. What the fuck are we doing here? Like, just let's call it. And then he gets the call the next day, like the meeting went great. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think that was interesting to me. Maybe you guys already knew that. I hadn't known that. That to me is like he passed the real test by not being a bitch and was like, all right, fuck, we don't need you. Like,
that's
we're doing
the Axel thing where he's like, I have enough money that I don't give a fuck. Go ahead and walk somewhere else. I'll get somebody in the next 2 years. Like, it doesn't matter. And he's like, wait a second, the hot girl doesn't want me? Hold on.
It's classic, like, always leave them wanting more and neg them a little bit. It's cat and mouse. I will say, Clem, I maybe we should go back and we'll try to find the clips. But this was your golden goose. This was your white whale. We would talk about like maybe we could get Ohtani or whoever else. There was a couple other big free agent or trades here and there that let's be in on. And you were always like eye on the prize, boys. Like years ago, you were counting like 2024 back in like 2019. This was your one. And Lindor was that for me. Like when I didn't even think it was possible. I was watching Lindor in Cleveland, and I was always like, out of all the this golden era of shortstops, I was like, man, I wish what I would give to have him. And then that one fell out of the sky, and so it feels unbelievable. It's like winning the lottery. It's like you play the lottery every time, and you're like, I'm not actually gonna win. And then like Lindor comes here, I feel like I hit the lottery, and Soto comes here. It's like, wait, it actually happened? Holy shit!
And to be fair to me and you, like we could have dreamt all this stuff. It wasn't real with the Wilpons being here. We were getting Jay Bruce, and we were going to smile for Jay Bruce. Like, that's what we were going to be getting. Nothing more, nothing less. I just have to ask this question. This is just throwing out. Phil, is this a fresh shave for a new season?
Yes.
Trim. You're looking, did you do a milk bath this morning? You're looking good, man.
I did my morning routine, yeah.
That was unbelievable. People were asking me if I was going to do a video making fun of it, doing my own morning routine. I said, there's no point. I'm just playing for second place after Meek Phil's milk bath. I can't do it.
That's a man right there that's getting ready for a lot of fucking on his Mets bed this year.
Yeah. We all fucked out, man. There's going to be a lot more fucking on the Mets bed. I think we're probably going to fuck how many times? 95 times on the Mets bed? I don't know. It's going to be a lot this year.
We will have I'd be interested to hear at the end of the pod, we'll do our year-end wins predictions because it's going to be very interesting, especially after last year. And Kev, I love how you opened the show too. I love Grimace. I love that big purple bastard. I love everything of last year, OMG and all this other shit. The hot Tua pitch, which talk about someone who has had quite a run since that moment.
You want to talk about roller coaster?
Yes. I hope we bury all that. We don't try to dig it back up. Hey, if Grimace wants to show up one night, that'll be cool, whatever. The seat can stay there. Let's bury that. Let's hopefully keep some of the hey, maybe shit isn't going to go wrong because that's how last year everything, when it went wrong, it ended up going right. But Seymour Wiener, that was last year. That was magic from day one.
But these are the Raptors. You don't have to bury them almost as you don't have to bury them, but put them up, respect it. It was awesome. It was there. Remember it. But we don't need to play OMG every time. And like you said, it'll be here and there. But as one thing we've learned, Clem, in the dark ages and in the good years, with this team specifically, I really believe this. I don't think other franchises and other fan bases have it quite like us. Stuff always happens. If we're doing OMG and Grimace, you're not going to let the 2025 stuff flourish. There will be running jokes and gimmicks and all that. Let it happen.
Yep. We are the fan base that actually made Bartolo Colon a meme and a thing on the internet.
We know how to do
that. We don't need the old shit. And listen, I love the old shit. We can go back and watch it. I've watched so many goddamn hype videos from 24 over the winter. And you said it, Kev. I might be a little too deep in on this. I read every Juan Soto article as soon as it came out. I watched the 2-part fucking YouTube series. Nothing really new was revealed. That they did have that Cohen line on there as well. But Juan Soto was obviously the big thing. And then we kind of just have a really, let's just call it is patchwork rotation that we believe in Stearns. Phil, do you have any kind of fucking crazy number stat weird WORC PMG ERA for why this is going to be the best rotation in baseball?
All I know is that pitching profiler account keeps saying it's Clay Holmes looks great in this spring. Griffin Canning looks great this spring. So it's all right, the nerds are saying these guys look great. And we were down in the rotation last year. It turned out fine. Just trust David Stearns.
That's my thing. Last year, I was so down on them because of that rotation. I said, this rotation stinks. It's a bunch of journeymen and old guys, and we're trying to recapture lightning in a bottle, and it worked. And I think people kind of forget that David Peterson had a 2.9 ERA. If let's say Clay Holmes is good and Senga is what Senga was, and then David Peterson throws to a 2-something ERA, you'll be all right. I'm not saying it's a good rotation, but really, this is the way baseball is going outside of the Dodgers. And if the Yankees had a healthy rotation, I can't remember, do they? Did the Yankees get any injuries during the rotation? I'm not sure. If the Yankees get hurt, they're fucked. Like, this is who else? The Mariners, I guess, right? The Diamondbacks had some pitching. Like, I don't know. There's not anybody that's like a great rotation. And even if you do, A, people get hurt, and B, nobody goes past 6 innings anyway. So you might as well save your money and focus on other things and kind of cobble it together. Now, that being said, you know, if those guys all don't like hit their potential or all have bad years, we're fucked. That's the other thing here. I don't think like we are into a new era of Mets baseball. That does not mean I think that this year is like the year. I think last year we proved anything can happen. But
the division continues to be stacked.
Yeah. And so anything can happen, good or bad, luck, injuries, whatever. So, you know, but that being said, like, until Stearns proves he didn't do it right, I give him the benefit of the doubt because he was right on everybody last year in the rotation.
And Stearns is the one finding the pieces. And then you got Jeremy Hefner, the mad scientist in the pitching lab.
And
Every single pitcher just harps on the fact that we have like this secret analytics pitching 3D mapping lab.
Well, that's the thing, too. The technology, I think, matters. I think these guys are going to benefit. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like proprietary or what, because everyone just seems to point to the Mets. I don't actually know. Like everyone that we picked up was like, there's something about it. And if they're going to come on like a flyer, like Griffin Canning this year, right? He's basically coming out of nowhere in terms of like, okay, he might be a piece and then he's great. And they're like, okay, that's this year's Sean Manaea. If he's even a third of that and we just found this guy and then Senga bounces back, like I do think the rotation has the potential to be good, especially since Manaea is only out until mid-April. Mid to late April.
Just a note on Griffin Canning. The Braves traded Jorge Soler for him, then just cut Griffin Canning just right off the bat. They didn't want him.
Yeah.
So that could be good juju for us. It's like the Braves didn't want this guy.
Yeah, we'll take that.
I need that. I need us to start fucking the Braves with shit like that because
yeah,
there was plenty over my entire life essentially. And listen, we're talking Griffin Canning. He's your number 3 starter as of right now to start the season. I know they're kind of juggling stuff with the home opener, but Clay Holmes opening day starter, which was just a jarring thing to read, even after how good he pitched. It was just like, whoa! And then Tyler McGill back on the escalator for yet another season.
He's like herpes. It's like you can't get rid of him.
David Peterson at 4, who we were calling Steven Matz 2.0 at this time last year. And then our boy Senga, who hopefully and I know we don't really put too much into spring, but has he been looking pretty good now, like at the end of spring, in terms of like velocity? Because that's the only thing I really read into with this stuff.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about spring training numbers. People telling me about Brett Beatty. Like, bro, we know that Brett Beatty can hit like minor league pitching. We know that. Brett Beatty's gonna be a spring training all-star the rest of his fucking life. We got to do it in the pros. But I'll say this, Clem. I've made a decision. I'm making an announcement right now. I've been debating this. I talked about this with my brother for a bit. He was the one who kind of came up with this. At first, I was against it, but I think I'm gonna roll with it. I think that this franchise and Steve Cohen and Stearns has earned this. At least for me, this will be the year of no console.
Whoa.
I will not console this year. I will go down. Like, the console people kind of misconstrue it as like you're rooting against the team. It's not that. It's just in your heart when you feel like you're done and you're out of it. For me, it was 5 games into the season. I was wrong. And sometimes it's the last day of the season. Like, my console this year will be the final out of the season, whether it is the end of 162 or the end of the in the playoffs, or when we're celebrating on the mound. I will not console this year. Now that's not to say that I think they're going to win it all. It's just that I'm the king of the console. I have been honest about all the years when I thought that they're out of it, and in my head and in my heart, I will give them an unlimited amount of leash this year because they have earned it. They have bought it. They earned it with their play last year. The front office earned it with their wallets and their pursuit this year. And no matter how bad it gets, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. At least, I'll probably feel it on the inside at some point, but I will not make a spectacle of it. I will not predict it. I will not call for others to console. I will not. It is someone else can do it. It ain't going to be me this year because they've earned that.
We will get the text messages on the side where you're like, bro, I'm basically consoling right now.
Yeah.
But I could see the headline of the Post tomorrow morning. Kunsel to Kunsel. The Kunsel
That's right.
the King
Yeah.
Kunsel.
Yeah. 1 year only. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, but for right now, and everybody has their Kunsel, even if you don't play along with that game specifically. The point is, this franchise has done enough for you to behave differently this time. Don't get on Lindor when he has a slow start, if he has a slow start. Don't fucking panic. Don't get on Pete. Don't Lindor, if Soto, is not lights out right away. Like, we have to start acting. We want the franchise to be different. You got to start acting different. It's the chicken and the egg thing. And I think they would get there quicker if the fans got there first and didn't make the sky falling every single time, we have obviously I'm the problem. I'm one of these guys. So I'm speaking for those people. Like, even the injuries, I'm like, when I saw Alvarez was out, right? It was like 8 weeks or whatever. It'll be like the end of May. Baseball season didn't even start until July last year. Like, the game is just so long, and the sport is so stupid. And you could have a 10-game lead, and you have a bad week, and it's erased and like that. You know what I mean? So it's just, we got to start acting differently. And in the past, they never gave us a reason to. So I was always like, fuck it, I'm gonna be this negative guy, because I'm realistic, right? But now, if you're being realistic and logical, Steve Cohen, Stearns, Lindor, everybody, Tia, Alex, the whole Cohen family, they've all done their part. It's time for us to do our part.
Yeah, you said it perfect. And listen, we've done this whole us versus the Lindorks, and I think, like, if last year didn't kill the last one, and I know they're going to come back. It's like mayflies. They come out in the spring early when Lindor's struggling. Then they die off by the end of the summer when he's 280 and an MVP candidate. I'm done even mentioning them. Hopefully, it's the last time I say Lindorks on this show. But, like, at some point, we have to stop being uncouth and out of pocket. At some point, you got to be in pocket and couth. Because, like, you can't just be fucking whining bitches after, like, the most magical season many of us have experienced. You spend almost $1 billion on the best free agent we may ever see for years. And then, like, if someone starts slow the first, like, 3 games of a 162-game season, at some point, we just got to use our brains. I think we will, because all that thing where the season tickets have sold out or whatever – Ballpark food, best 3 years in a row. They're feeding you well. They're giving you a good product in the field, and people are paying. At some point, you just have to, like, not even be happy, but just not be a dick anymore.
Right.
Just don't be an angry fuck every single time. It's baseball. The best teams in the league are going to lose 60 games usually. So just fucking take it.
I mean, imagine Mets fans right now. If I told you could sign up and become the Dodgers, you would do it in a millisecond, right? Imagine Mets fans if, when the Dodgers didn't win for how many years, right? Like,
yeah.
Like Mets fans would be, furious if we had the best team in the league every year and we won, 2, and, if you kind of count the lockout year or the COVID year. Like, even the best, it is so hard to get there. So now we're at the point where, like, we're just along for the ride. Hopefully make the playoffs, regularly instead of having these spikes and these lucky seasons. Like, you gotta, act like you've been there before. Kind of, it's like we haven't been there, but we're there enough. We're there enough as a franchise where it's like, come on, start acting like it.
If we're expected to be in the conversation every single year, and you have the wild card, and really the division, frankly, does not matter anymore. Like, last year was the perfect example of you can't really console because they could just turn it on in the summer, and next thing you know, you're just in the fight for whatever it is. 3-game series, it's anyone's ball game at that point. Like, look at the Brewers.
To the people, the chirp of third place in the division is the same thing as, like, Juan Soto's defense. Like, I don't fucking care. Go ahead, be third. But what if the Braves, Phillies, and Mets are like 100 wins, 98 wins, and 97 wins? Like, okay, I'll be third place. Don't fucking care, man. It's the same thing as, like, the Yankees and Red Sox in the AL East in their time. It's like, they don't care, man. So we're in a division with other great teams. Good. Like, I'm happy to be, like, we can't, sleepwalk through the whole season like the NL Central does every year and then gets their dicks kicked in. Like, I'd rather it. Let's go. I'd rather
tired, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like even 22, right, where we were every single day living and dying with our result and then the Braves result, and in the end, neither of us made the World Series. Like it didn't fucking matter.
God, that season gives me the PTSD. I can't believe the best regular season ever. I look upon like, ugh, don't mention it.
Yeah, and they, in a weird way, it's the gift and the curse. And listen, we all know how shitty the American League is, at least was as a whole, in terms of like elite teams. Because I mean, the Yankees walked to the World Series last year, like because everyone else was booting the ball and making base running errors, and then they did the same, obviously, in the World Series. The NL in a weird way, like it sucks. It's like being in the West in the NBA, where it's like I got the fucking Dodgers. In our division, we have the Braves and the Phillies. But the other side of it is, people are asking me who are like not Mets fans. I was on a couple podcasts and like, is it World Series or bust for you Mets fans? I'm like, World Series or bust? All I hear about is how the Dodgers are unstoppable and the Braves are going to win the division, and the Phillies, like this is probably one of their last gasps with a sick lineup and like a real rotation. How are we the World Series or bust team? So right, the expectation should be a little off.
My expectation is
the Mets.
I would like to see one before I die. That should be the only expectation anyone has. Because I've never seen one. So it's like, hopefully they win before I die.
I'll spare you the suspense. Like, we're probably not going to win the World Series this year. And you can say that probably every single year after this. Like, because when we do win, it's going to be that the stars and the moons and everything need to align. And that doesn't happen very often. Again, look at the Dodgers. They were like the best team by a mile. And, only got there a couple times and only won a couple. It's not an easy thing to do no matter what. And it's certainly not like I think people mistake our excitement. Like I'm excited for this era. What Juan Soto literally brings to the table, but what he signified for the next 15 years. What Cohen's about to do with the real estate, literally and figuratively in the building. Like where we're going is what I'm excited for. And I think people mistake that for like, I think we're going to win the World Series right now. No, the point is that for the first time ever, we were the destination. We spent the most money. We won the prize, the blue chip. We are viewed as there's one of the most important guys making the biggest decision of his future said, I'll put my eggs in their basket. That's all like so new. And that means we're going the right direction. But that means we just are going the right direction. We just got on the highway. We are not at our destination at all yet. So, and that's not a cop-out. I'm not trying to like temper expectations or whatever, but I just think people are mistaking Mets fans like excitement for like arrogance or like expectations. Like we still got a long way to go. I'm just happy that for the first time, every other year, it was like we need to get lucky to get to where we were. 2015 came out of nowhere. We've had these lucky like spurts where it was like, whoa, we didn't see that coming. This is the first time where it's like it should come. It should be coming, and we should get there and be in the mix. And so that's where that's what I'm happy about. There's a long way to go before you get to we must win the World Series this year or I'm disappointed.
This is how I view the National League this year in terms of the playoffs, at least winning the National League dependent. We're basically like when you're playing Mario Kart and it's you and your buddies and you're all basically the same level of good. And it's just who gets that star in fourth place?
Yeah.
Who gets the fucking blue shell? Who gets hit by the blue shell? Who gets that devastating injury in September or even April where the guy's out for the year? And you're just going to roll from there. And it's like, just give me a chance for that last leg to fucking get into first. That's all I can ask for as a team because baseball is an inherently stupid game, which is something we have to like remind ourselves every single day, which is why I'm turning it over to the sicko of the podcast right now. Phil, give me a fucking scouting report about those fucking Hicks down in Atlanta because I don't even like they're going to hit me with guys I've never even heard of. So I have to have bracing for these fucking assholes.
They have a catcher named Drake Baldwin that's going to be their starting catcher because Sean Murphy's out. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. They held him out of trade talks last year before he was a top 100 prospect. So be prepared for Drake Baldwin to motherfuck you.
They'll probably sign him for like 10 years, 32 million.
He'll be the next cheap extension. Spencer Strider has bionic arm. He's just going to recover from Tommy John and be back later this month. Acuna will be back early May instead of late May. The Braves are going to be really good. They just have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Like
you know what? Especially with the new alignment, like how often do we play everybody in the division now?
13 times. We don't play. I think we finished playing the Braves in like July.
Love that. Let's get it out of the way.
Let me just double check that.
I swear to God, if they fucking have a rain out in July and they're like, we'll just play this at the end of the, I can't do that. But
August 24th is our last game versus the Braves.
Well, that's a little different, Phil. You got my hopes up with this July talk.
Well,
This moment.
no September.
Yeah.
This
Oh, that's
moment
Lindor
is
home
all
run?
I'm leaning on right here. I bought the Francisco Lindor baseball card of the home run in Atlanta.
That's awesome. That's a great
That has to be the seismic moment. That's the only reason why, no matter what happens with the Braves this year, if there's a big game in Atlanta, regular season playoffs, I will know. Not that we're going to win. It's just that we're not definitely going to lose.
Yes, these are all. This is what I'm saying about all of it, is that we are now at a level where it's possible. That's why I'm ending the console, because it's like up until now, we were gonna lose in Atlanta with the season on the line, and then we didn't. We were gonna like go after the free agent and not get him, and now we did. Like all these things are starting to happen, and the final piece of that is we never won the World Series, and then we did. But all these little things along the way just completely alter the way you can't say anymore. Oh, if we fall 10 games under 500, we never come back. Well, we did. Like we've shown that we can now. So all of those things you have to at least say, angels in the outfield. Like it could happen. It could happen.
It could happen. It could happen. Speaking of angels in the outfield, devils in the outfield, if you want to call it, Barstool the Ballpark is back for yet another season. As of now, we have 3 games. The way we worked it out is we're going to have tickets where we were last year in center field by the Apple, except we will have the beer will not be in the bullpen. We've heard their complaints. We were the ones making the complaints as well. They will be somewhere much closer so we could watch the game.
Yeah, wait, let me just explain this fully, because Barstool at the Ballpark was our baby. Like me and Clem were there literally, 10 years ago. I think it was 2015 was our first year, right? A decade ago. And in the beginning, it was absolutely perfect. It was the best deal in sports. It's still the best deal in sports, but it was the perfect. We had cans of beer. We had a bar right there. We had the perfect setup. And then as things progressed and whatever, we got bounced around to different spots of the park. And the latest one was like, here's your seats, but your beer is all the way downstairs. And we got a lot of complaints. And we got on the phone with the Mets this year, and we were like, we need to bring it back. We make Barstool at the Ballpark great again. We need that to be like it's back to our glory days. And short of the cans were incredible because everyone would just pop a can. People had like 1,000 beers. I understand they can't do that anymore. We have draft beers, but we have our own bar. We have the 7-line section on the off days they're not there. We have that whole concourse. And when Barstool at the Ballpark is great and everybody buys into it and we go, it's like heaven on earth. It is like, in Rudy, when the janitor sees the field, the dad sees the field for the first time, and he's like, oh, my God. That's Barstool at the Ballpark when it's at its peak. So we have done our part where we got on the phone with the Mets. We say, you got to work with us again. You got to give us the right spot. You got to give us the right deal, the right games, the right times, all that stuff. We got Saturday day games. We got the good section where you can hang out and watch the game. We got the good bar. Now it's up to you guys to come. And, we used to be at a spot with 250, 500 people. Like, we want to bring it back to that level. We will be there. We're going to be a part of the block parties that they do outside now. We're going to do some tailgates with Coors Light. It is, in general, the Barstool the Ballpark and the podcast. This is a big year for us. It's a big year for the team, and it's a big year for us doing all of our content and all of our events around it. So if you are a We Gotta Believe listener, if you are a Mets fan, please buy into it. Please come along for the ride because, like I said, we got to start doing our part to make this franchise, the best they can be. So we wanted more dates. I will say this. The only thing I really don't like about the realignment is, first of all, there's very few home game weekend series. It was like only a handful of weekends throughout the whole year where we were home. And then all the ones that we do have, there was no Phillies series. There was no Braves series. So we, the schedule didn't quite break our way. Usually we have about 6 on sale. To start, we only have 3 because the rest of the times and days didn't really line up. But if these all work out and we blow it out of the water, we can tack on more. And to this day, it's the best deal in sports. You get a ticket, you get 1 free meal, and you get unlimited beer, all Coors Light products for the whole game. It is one of the best things I've ever done. And I don't go to games very often. So when I say that, I loved it and it was the best live sporting event experience I've ever been a part of, it is. So get your tickets, get out there. And my main point being, I cut Clem off to explain it though, but we know that it wasn't the best in the last couple of years. We know it wasn't like what it was a decade ago, and we have now made sure that we're going to bring it back to that level.
Yeah, I think we got a little jumbled up because 2019, I remember we had the cup snakes. Remember, Za was like drinking out of boots. It was a wild, absolute wild time there. And I mean, a lot of us are getting older, but there's still a lot of young people out, and they are fucking more savage than we were at this point. So they're still drinking hard, doing whatever. And then COVID shut the season down. Then the next year was like you couldn't have like the full ballpark. 22 was awesome. 23 we sucked. Everyone in 24 thought we were gonna suck. So this is the year I think it's let's get the vibes back up
And
the ballpark and as Mets fans.
And if you are the rally pimp, if you are the glizzy guy, if you're one of these people who likes to really not just go to a game, but really mix it up and be in the scene, come to one of our games. Do it at a Barstool at the Ballpark. We're gonna have phones out, cameras out. We're gonna vlog it. We're gonna recap the experience. So if you want to get a little shine, you want to wear some merch, you want to start a chant, you want to be the next gimmick, do it at our events, because that's the spot that you're gonna get a lot of shine. And hopefully, we'll all be out there. And Barstool people will take part in it. The team is good. The events are good. So Barstool at the Ballpark is back.
We got May 10th against the Cubs at 7:15. That's the only night game. That's an Edwin Diaz bobblehead. We got August 2nd, 4:10 game against the Giants. That's Alvarez bobblehead. And then we got the Nats, when it probably will matter, September 20th at 4:10. And that's a long sleeve t-shirt.
We got
giveaways on top of it.
We got to get some June and July in there. I guess I'll leave this up to the fans as well. Like, we probably could do a weekday game. We could maybe ask for this. The Subway Series is on the table, but it's going to be very expensive, and we didn't want one of our events to be like, $200 to get to. So there are some options that are not normally what we would do. But if people really want them and you make enough of a stink and like let us know that you will buy the tickets, we'll do it. Kind of sucks to go from May all the way to August, but we're working with what we were given. But hopefully there'll be a lot more. In general, we had a call with the Mets where I was like, we've been doing this forever. It kind of bothers me, to be honest, when I see some of these other podcasts and some of these other Mets influencers get like interviews and access and all this shit that I'm like, bro, there's been nobody doing it longer, doing it more. The amount of influence we've had, the nicknames we've come up with, the trends we've started, the all this shit. Like, we're right there with the cream of the crop when it comes to Mets influencers. So I would love a little more. That was kind of the call we had, where I was like, whatever you guys are looking to do, we're looking to be a part of it. So hopefully there's more. We got to believe Mets, synergy in the future.
Yeah, and again, the people who have come out in the past too, it's like we have to do with the Jay Bruce shirt. We just have like the fucking same crew that's always coming back and just looking to get just absolutely tanked and have themselves a good time. So if you go to the We Gotta Believe Twitter account, it's pinned. I imagine we have it pinned on the Instagram as well. Go Fevo, F-E-V-O, gofevo.com/group/Barstool Sports is the link. Kind of a mouthful. Just go to the
we'll put the link on social and everything. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. We had a couple other events picked out, and they were like, oh, we forgot those are 7-line days. Well, that's kind of a big deal, guys. So we had like, I think either 4 or 5, and then 2 of those were 7-line dates where they put us in the same section. So those kind of got knocked off. So we're working on it. We're trying to get you some more out there. Obviously, the 7-line guys kind of take precedence. But yeah, please come out and make sure you subscribe to the podcast, follow the socials. Like, this is as big of a year for us in content as it is for the team on the field. So help be a part of it.
As Uncle Stevie says, you guys talk with your wallets, and it's like we're gonna have no choice but to add more dates.
I love seeing that those tickets sold, because I do, like, again, I don't go very often, so I can't, glass houses. I like it to be. I don't really care, to be honest, if attendance is up or down, but I know that matters, and obviously that's the name of the game for ownership. So for the people who do go and the people who do like it, like, you got to buy your tickets, got to get out there. And the fact that he kind of put out that challenge, because we were like middle of the pack when it comes to sales, right? And that we sold out our tickets like right away. It's a good sign. Everyone's holding up their end of the bargain.
The one thing I didn't like was when Nimmo called us out, because it's not good when the players are like, guys, can you make this a little more electric? Like that kind of hurt. It was a bad look. And listen, hey, I'd only spend $40 on parking. I've already gone on my rant.
I hate the parking.
I'm not going to talk about it, boys. Like Juan Soto, hey, people are complaining about tickets or, parking or whatever. Someone got to play for Juan Soto. Uncle Stevie's not funding this all himself. It's all in the team. And hey, if we can get that fucking World Series before we die, like Kyle says, we're not going to – you can't go to fucking heaven with all your money, right? So you might as well spend it, watch the product on the field, enjoy it. And you know what? If you want to get cheap tickets a little cheaper, go to Game Time. Baseball is back. There's nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. Lucky for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, the Game Time Picks feature makes it even easier to find great deals on the seats you want. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Pick setting at the top of the screen or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. I was looking at tickets for the home opener, which is coming up right around the corner. And what do we have here? I saw an amazing deal on the Game Time Picks. We have Mets or Blue Jays home opener, $87 a pop. $87 a pop. You can put those savings back in your pocket and spend them at the ballpark on a hot dog, a new hat, or some good old-fashioned Cracker Jack. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy these Blue Jays opening day tickets, home opener tickets, now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BELIEVE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BELIEVE for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. So we're going to the games. We're rooting the team on. We're getting our Cracker Jacks. We're loading up our food. By the way, the food, I didn't see anything that really opened my eyes a ton yesterday. I feel like we didn't go crazy, right, with that the new reveal.
There were a couple that I was like, oh, finally, by the way, they do this every year, and then they don't tell you where the fuck to find anything. When you're just walking around, you're like, hey, where is this? Like, oh, I don't know. Like, they actually tell you where you're going. So it's on our Instagram page if you're looking for the food. But they had the pickle fries and the pickle drink. I'm a pickle guy. They had grilled cheese pinwheels with tomato sauce, like fondue.
Okay.
And they had the Man versus Food Guy burgers that look pretty good.
I have a take. I have a curmudgeon old man take on this, bro. If I owned a baseball team, I would do burgers and fries. Burgers, dogs, and fries. That's it. That's it. You go and like Cracker Jacks, like the snacks. You go to a ballpark to eat that shit. And I would make it cheap. That would be my thing. Who was it? There's somebody.
Arthur Blank.
The Falcons.
Yeah.
Falcons. I thought there was somebody in baseball, though. No?
There might be. Yeah, a few teams have done it. And they all say it's profitable. It actually, makes them more money in the end of the day.
Right, because it's like, if I think right now there's such a arms race. It's like, I'm going to do, like, bacon burgers. Well, I'm going to do, like, bacon donuts. And I'm going to do pickle this. And sushi and steak. And it just spirals out of control. I would go the opposite. I'd be like, you guys can do your fancy shit. When you come to my ballpark, you got a hot dog. You get fries, you get a burger, you get Cracker Jacks, you get beer and soda, and all of it's like $5. And I think you would almost, rather than try to keep up with the Joneses on the other side, you would by going minimalistic. Like, I don't get these people who want these gourmet foods at the fucking ballpark. I teach their own. If it works, it works. If you're happy, you're happy. But it's not for me. So I'll let you guys talk the food.
I do think we might have lost our way a little bit when you see some of these things, and I think it's as much for the social media post where it's like the 8,000 calorie fucking burger. It's there was an old SNL skit where it's like a burrito wrapped in a pizza wrapped in a fucking taco, and they all throw it in a bag, So it's a little crazy. I like to see like last year they did the rainbow cookie and the egg roll, which just didn't hit. Like Kyle said, it was dry.
Like, what are you even talking about? We did an egg roll and a rainbow cookie for a baseball game? What is going on?
They're like, do you like your rainbow cookie extremely dry? We're going to shove it in this pocket. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the other thing, too, is like a lot of this, so I'm sure is good, but a lot of it is like it's like a gourmet thing where you're getting it at like a concession stand at a baseball game. It's not what?
Some of it you can't even eat when you're sitting like a
clusterfuck. It's too hard. I don't know. To me, it's like the last when I go to a game, get me a dog, and that's really it.
Yeah. The other thing though that was like new is that they're doing like one of those races, like the sausage races. They're doing like it's like a Subway. It's a bunch of different little like
ferry. All 5 boroughs are represented by like their thing. There's pizza slices, Staten Island Ferry. There's all that shit.
I'm always down for that. I was down for back in the day when they had like I don't know if Shea had the airplane races or the subway races. I know the Yankees have
Yeah,
one too.
they
I
had the
think
airplane
it's the
races.
subway race.
Yeah.
Now that I say it. So just little shit like that I get behind. But in the end of the day, it's the fucking product on the field. It's going to be much
They
better.
do a good job. It's always about like the Mets were always a joke for those gimmicks when they sucked. Once you start getting good, it's like it becomes more fun where it's like, oh yeah, we have that like little gimmick, we have that giveaway, this T-shirt. Those are just like things that bolster the experience. Remember when people freaked out about the dance team?
I was just gonna say that. No one gave a fuck about the dance team once we started winning.
Yeah, like come on. So let it's a family event. Like you're going to a place. You're going to a kids event. It's a baseball game. It's a game, You're not going to a club. You're not going to a fancy Michelin star restaurant. You're not on a date. I mean, you might be, but you know what I mean? It's ultimately for like kids to go watch a game. So there's going to be some family shit. Like just enjoy it.
I got an idea for the Mets to manufacture a moment for the season. They got to go get the guy that plays Mr. Milchuk from Severance and get him with the Queen's crew to do the marching band onto
Yeah, he's been everywhere.
That guy is a walking meme.
Yeah, there's a lot of I have full faith in them to like get on those. Even like Haktua was like people didn't like that, but it was smart that it was like this girl is viral, she's buzzing, let's go. I think as the team and the marketing branch gets really like figures their way out, like they're gonna do all that shit really well.
Yeah, I have much faith. We are very far from the social team presenting the lineup sponsored by Send in the Clowns, right?
Yeah.
And we like I know people were scared that
Team Pie takeover.
That was cool though that we had him live. The light show that they do is fucking sick and it's intimidating if you're on the other side of it. So I feel like we are in a very not even a good place, a great place with that. Plus, we're the greatest family fucking destination in baseball according to the Sotos. So
hey. Honestly, though, that's another thing. Like, what in general, what did you guys think of the pursuit?
It was kind of what I knew already.
Okay. Everybody's on agreement. It wasn't that good. Like, that reaction right there, nobody, like, first of all, part one wasn't about Juan Soto. I was like, the whole thing felt like an intro that just kept going. I was like, we're talking about the season. We opened up the pursuit of Juan Soto with 7 minutes of Brandon Nimmo. I was like, what's going on here? And then I like the idea. I know some people were kind of like, you have a whole documentary for like one free agency signing. Like, A, we're still new here. We don't get that a lot. And B, this is not just a free agent. This is probably the greatest free agent ever. And we're not going to see another one who gets, into their year 26, free agency. Like, it's just not a normal thing. But and I like the idea of doing it, leaning into social media, making these pieces of content for the fans. I just didn't think I thought it was going to be like, rile me up, like, let's fucking go. And I was kind of like,
yeah. You guys agree, Kyle, Phil? You guys agree with that?
Nothing we didn't know. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the thing. Maybe we know too much, but like, I don't know. I don't think anybody watched that being like, whoa.
Yeah, there was the pursuit of the World Series. It was part one, and it's like, we came up short there, and then we're going to get Juan Soto in part two. So, yeah, that was kind of the thing where I was like, I felt like I had seen everything, and then we're getting articles, and it's like, all right, I think we're done with this. So we'll move on from Juan Soto. He's the fucking apple of our eye for the next 15 years. Hopefully, he's here the whole time and doing Juan Soto stuff.
I just wanted to drop some last-minute things about the rotation.
Yeah.
So Manaya's mid to late April expected. He's already throwing over 90 feet. Frankie Montas, late May, early June, possibly. Clay Holmes has only ever thrown 70 innings. That's the most he's ever capped out at. So as a starter, obviously he started in the past, but like they're going to have to figure out a way to stretch him out. So he may be
good. Even if you're good, how do you do that? That's,
it's just, I don't know. But maybe they break it up. Maybe they have him throw a 5-inning start to strengthen him out. Like, I don't know.
Where's Seth Lugo? Put Seth Lugo and Clay Holmes together and make one starting pitcher.
Kodai Senga said he's still working on his mechanics. He doesn't feel as sharp. David Peterson, sub-1 ERA in the spring. He looked like he did last year. And then Griffin Canning, the last note, has a 50% whiff rate this spring. So he's getting a ton of swings and misses. So if he can keep that up, that's great. And then you got Paul Blackburn with the leaky spine. He's in the bullpen. So they may pair him up with one of these other guys to do like an opener and then a reliever.
Oh, and what's Clay Holmes' new pitch that he invented? What's it called?
Kick change is his
Kick
big.
change.
Yeah, I'm always down for a gyro ball, a ghost fork. Now we got a kick change. People talking about like invent this new pitch that's been invented, and he's the best at throwing it. I'm always down for that. Let's go.
Yeah, we need the marketing team to like really lean. They should be coming up with like names of all these pitches. Like Peterson created. I saw the Invisiball was someone. I think it was Bill Ryan who had that.
Honestly, if I ran a team, you know what I would do? I would poach somebody away from WWE, and I would be like, run this like it's a wrestling event. Like make it a spectacle. I want signs in the crowd. I want hype men. I want entrance music. I want light shows. I want nicknames and names of pitches and all that shit. Those guys know how to do it.
All right. So you said hype man. So this is when we all act as a hype man for someone on the team. This is the my guy of the 2025 season. So if you guys have a guy, if not, pull up the 40-man roster, pick a guy. I'm going to start with the sick fuck on the podcast who I believe Jorge Lopez was his guy.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, nobody turned around the season more than Jorge Lopez. So Phil nailed that one. Phil, who's your guy for the 2025 season?
Not sure if he makes the roster. I think it's still up in the air, but give me Max Kranick, the Kranick heads. This is our year.
Okay.
He should make the roster the way he's playing.
Yeah, it's between him and Brazaban, so we'll see.
By the way, Brazaban's 35 years old, has no idea where the fuck the ball's going half the time, and Kranick's 27. So the fact that that's even a conversation just drives me insane.
And he's a Mets fan too. That was going to be my guy because he's looked good. He's a Mets fan.
We had him on our playoff roster. Like,
yeah,
I
I was
forgot
going for him in that first round because we were so fucking down at the end of that Brewers series before Pete saved our asses. Okay, so that's Phil's guy. I respect that. Kyle, do you have a guy all lined up?
I do, but I'm like hesitant because I feel like he needs to be the guy. And if he's not, I'm going to be really sad about it. David Peterson. David Peterson is a first-round pick who I've shit on multiple times over the course of his career for having the worst mechanics ever. And then he finally figured it out last year. So, like, he's shown us what he can be. And let's just say what it is. He kind of got disrespected in the postseason, too. We were like, oh, you had such a great season. Go to the bullpen now because Kodai Senga's back for a couple of spot starts. Yeah. And he did it. And he was also good in the pen. So, like, if we're going to go where we want to go and have, like, a nice run, we do need him to be, like, how he was last year. He doesn't need to be a top-of-the-rotation guy, but he needs to be, like, the quirky lefty who can come in and just surprise lineups every couple of days in the rotation.
That's fair. I mean, that's the thing. Like, when you start looking at what this team is built on, and it's like we do need David Peterson to be pretty.
You don't want to have to rely on him, but he needs to be a guy, so he's my guy.
Yes. Kev, do you have a guy?
Yeah, well, I have a couple guys. The first one's Juan Soto. He goes. What's the deal with Ronnie Mauricio? Is he ever going to play again?
Triple A.
Yeah, Triple A.
Okay, because I have he's a long-term my guy. I have a lot of hope in him. When he came up, he was one of those guys where I was like, I've never had a guy who hits the ball 130 miles an hour off the bat and can throw the ball, just as hard. One of those, Ellie De La Cruz type guys where I was like, whoa, that type of talent, like athleticism we don't usually have. So I know he got injured. I know he's not there, but if he ever gets a chance to get back up here, I think he's going to make some waves. I think the Rhino was a big guy for me. I loved him out of the pen, but I think this year's Jesse Winker is going to be Jose Siri. I think Siri I didn't know, I was not familiar with his game. And when I saw some of his highlight packages, I mean his aura, because his play is whatever, but he has a vibe to him. He has a Winker air to him, the cockiness, the arrogance, the swagger, that if he does play well, I think he's going to be a fan favorite. So I think that's going to be, and we need him to play well. We need those guys to fill those roles that we've, moved out. We almost need a Jose Iglesias fill in, right? And I think he has a chance to be that guy. So that's going to be my guy.
Yeah. Or dripping out his ass. That dude, if he has nothing else, his defensive highlights are one of those things you could just sit down and watch for 10 minutes. Right. And then you can hit bombs. He's fast as fuck. And like Siri, you do something with that. Like as a Mets fan, you just are like, all right, what are the seeds that can become something?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be like, Siri, hit a home run, shit like that.
Yep, exactly. All right. So I didn't know if my guy would be there. I thought there was a chance he could be, and I don't blame you guys for not taking him. We're back, boys. We're so fucking back. Brett Beatty, welcome back to my guy for the second year in a row. Brett Beatty,
he will do this every year for the rest of his life. He will do this in AAA and spring training. It's just, will he one day do it in the majors? And God, I hope he will, man. It would be, I would really love to be wrong about him.
First in OPS in all spring training hitters who are qualified. First in slugging, first in extra base hits, tied for first in walk to strikeout, second in on base percentage.
Also, the good juju of giving up his number and getting a new car, but that counts too. The baseball gods respect that.
Baseball gods respect that. Do the right thing, and Juan Soto did the right thing. As much as I love Lindor, he didn't do the right thing with Jeff McNeil by making him wait like a fucking year for that car. So Juan did the right thing. Beatty did the right thing. Everything's going to be fine. Hashtag believe, and we turn the L into a 7 like the stupid Ritu Pact with Jeter. Brett Beatty. And honestly, like, everything is broken for him, so he has no fucking excuse. He has to do it, and if he doesn't, it's going to be the Acuna show until McNeil comes back. And at this point, like, is it crazy that we've kind of just buried? Has everyone just kind of buried McNeil in their brain, even though he?
I was just going to say, when you mentioned him, he's like the only like negative aspect of this team right now is him, because he also has a negative attitude. He's like, not like, I just need him to go back. You signed your contract. You don't need to hit for power. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You probably got the biggest contract you're gonna get. Just slap that ball, get on base, and do your job. But
you bury him in this lineup now, so that's literally all we need him to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's no pressure on you. We don't need you to be the batting champ anymore. Like, but get back to that.
Beatty's interesting because his agent in the offseason got him like a new hitting coach. And the hitting coach was like, you're getting way too deep into counts. Like you're too selective. You're hitting the ball on the ground. Like we need to fix these 3 things. And that's pretty much what he's done.
Okay.
So he needs to just adapt that when he gets up and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Phil, was he doing was it like the Vientos thing with his hands or something like that, where he was holding on and getting under it or something? Like,
yeah,
getting fly balls with him, right? He hits too many grounders.
He kills worms. That's the saying.
By the way, I think Vientos is beyond the level of being one of our guys, but like he's one of my guys. I think he's going to be a star. I think he's going to be very good. It might, of course, there's probably going to be a little bit of regression and the book's out on him a little bit, but I think he's going to firmly establish himself as a real middle of the lineup bat.
He definitely has like the persona for it. You could tell, he's ready to be the guy who's showing on the MSG score, the jumbotron front row, watching the Knicks. So it's like he knows he has to work to get there. And listen, we were fucking out on that guy after that Instagram thing.
I'm Mark Vientos.
Yeah, and I mean that guy came through in the biggest of spots last year. So
you think Mendoza's trying to make him earn the heart of the lineup? Because like Nimmo's not the 4 batter.
Dude, I think like Pete is, being given this, like it's I think it's like veteran versus rookie type shit. And I think like as we get to like August when the numbers are there and everything plays out, like I think there's gonna be some shuffling going on.
Pete's a 5 hitter. Pete is like Cliff Floyd back in the day, where it's like you know what you're gonna get out of him, and like if he hits 40 home runs again, hitting behind Vientos, like that's amazing.
Yeah. I also am like one of those idiots that loves the left, right. I was so jealous the Yankees could do that, and then they'd have switch hitters in the fucking spots that would gut you, and it always just felt like you were playing from behind just because they could match up, and especially now with the 3-pitch, 3-batter minimum with the relievers. But yeah, I mean, like I think also Pete, it's like Pete, you want to go make your money? You're the 3-hitter. Yeah, Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor in front of you, and if you ain't doing that shit, at some point it's gonna get bumped down, and if that does happen, WFAN will be having a fucking field day. I saw this tweet earlier. They said between Justin Fields, Jameis Winston, and Russell Wilson, like it's going to be generational WFAN callers.
Yeah, there's a lot of material out there. Yep.
So thankfully the Mets are in our lives. I can't believe we're saying that. So boys, let's hear the win totals for this season, the 2025 year. I imagine they cleared all of our win totals. I think I was an 86er last year, and they even cleared that, which seemed fucking crazy at the time.
What was your final number last year?
97 with the playoffs.
No. But like their regular season number.
Oh, their actual number 89.
89. I thought. Okay.
So Phil, what do you got? What's your number? How many times we fucking on the Mets bet this year?
I'm gonna be a little bit conservative. I'm gonna say 92.
All right, young Kyle. First season as a dad, by the way.
Yeah.
The little man gets to watch his games. This is a big year.
I'm giving up my sleep now, but these West Coast games are really going to hit different. 94.
All right.
I'm always I'm not consoling, but I'm still always going to be more conservative. Until I hope Stearns proves me wrong again. I have faith in him, but I still look at that rotation. I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm going to go 91.
All right. Well, I guess I have to be the optimist here. I'm going to
100 wins. Do it, Clem.
I'm not doing 100. I can't do the 100 with this fucking gauntlet. I'm doing the 96ers. We're bringing the
96ers. Let's go.
So I'm just because, again,
I got to run to the dozen. So you guys wrap up, but you got to believe.
You do the damn thing. Got to believe, boys. So, yeah, we'll wrap it up there. I think I'm playing him in the dozen, so I probably got to get going too. I think I'm playing at 12 o'clock, though. Anyway, nonetheless, Kyle, any last thoughts on the season right now? Anything we didn't hit? Anything you had a pin in?
I think that we need the bullpen to be an X factor. I think that as someone who tracks the 6-inning starts every year, we get off to a slow start every year. Mendoza does like to go slow and get his bullpen guys some work. Look for Buto to be a nice long inning relief guy. Look for Blackburn to be a long inning relief guy. Maybe Kranick if he can make the club. But Diaz, all roads lead to Diaz. So we need Diaz to be the Diaz that we expect him to be. And that's it. Gotta believe.
Phil, what do you got for me?
Just a reminder that through baseball season, rosters change so much throughout the year. Your open day roster, your May roster, your July roster, it's all going to be different. There will be a big trade that we make in July that puts us over the top. I do think we acquire an ace, whether it's an Alcantara, a Cease, or whoever. I do think we will get a big fish in July that puts us over the top.
I'm kind of with you there. I feel like we haven't really moved anything. We've been very quiet on that side of things.
Yeah, we've been hoarding prospects for so long. I feel like we're building up our farm just to make a move like that.
And that's kind of what Stearns did when he first took over the Brewers. I was reading up on it back in the day where he made a couple of big trades and, for big trades for the Brewers, right? Including our boy, the Granny Man. So I feel good about it as well. The bullpen is one of those things. It's a long season, everyone. The council's been counseled. So I guess I don't say that. But just relax. Try to enjoy it as much as you can. The Diaz stuff, I saw Anthony DeComo tweet out the other night, fucking right before bed, his velocity was a little off, or he was I don't need to hear that.
His velo's been down every spring. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. Hopefully we find a couple of those guys with Garrett's and the fucking Kranick, whoever it may be. We figure out a way to make it all work. Believe in Stearns at the end of the day. He's giving you no reason not to believe so far. So at the end of the day, gotta believe.
Gotta believe.